What's going on YouTube? FitnessKensho here, and today I got more of a discussion video for you guys, and it's a question I got asked by one of my fraternity brothers named Norm. Norm, if you're watching this, my apologies. I did not call you when I said I would call you to answer this question, so here's a video on it, and hopefully it helps out other people who have the same question. So when you're beginning you're starting to go to the gym for the first time, right? You have your goals set. Which one do you focus on? Let's say you're someone who wants to lose a couple pounds and wants to build muscle. Like, do you lose the weight first and then start weightlifting, or do you weight train and then lose the weight? Like, which one comes first, right? And the main question I guess people ask me is, do you do like cardio for like maybe X amount of months and then switch over to weight training? And here's the honest truth. It all depends on obviously what your goals are and where you're at currently. Like, what's your body type like? So, for example, just to give you a perfect example, someone who's, let's say, 160 pounds and let's say my height about 6'3", skinny as fuck. That person possibly has a fast metabolism, because even with the bad eating habits, or even if they had bad eating habits, like, they haven't been able to gain weight. So right there, they're kind of like a hard gainer. So at that point, if you want to build muscle, just get right into a surplus. You have no reason to try to lose weight if you're that skinny and you don't have any problems gaining that weight, right? But if you're someone who's obviously has a slower metabolism and you can tell that you have unwanted pounds that you want to actually get rid of, obviously when you're building muscle, the weight is going to go up. And that can mess with you a little bit mentally. So in my opinion, I would say try your best to build as much muscle and lose as much body fat as possible as well. So you don't want to go into like a bulk. If you're like, let's say 40, 50 pounds overweight, in no way, shape, or form I say just start bulking, because now you're going to put on some body fat. It's guaranteed that when you start bulking, you are going to put on some body fat. It's either going to be a lot of body fat, depending if you do a dirty bulk, or you do a little bit of body fat, you do a clean bulk. But at the end of the day, you are going to gain some type of body fat. So in my opinion, definitely pick a calorie intake that's going to help you build muscle and lose body fat at the same time. And here's why I say that. When I first started working out, I wasn't monitoring my calories. I was just eating as I go, whatever I could grab, and that didn't turn out that good, because now I didn't know how much protein I was taking. I knew I was definitely going over carbs. I knew I was definitely eating a lot of fat, but my protein wasn't there. And obviously you need the protein in order to rebuild your muscles when you're tearing them in the gym, right? So keeping a good count of your protein is definitely one of the #1 keys to actually, building the muscle to boost up your metabolism. Because the more muscle you have, the higher metabolism you have, the more calories you burn just at rest. So that should be everyone's goal, long-term wise. When it comes to cardio, I always tell people that cardio should be a tool that you use when you need more of a deficit. So if you are losing weight, just following a specific set of macros and a specific calorie intake, or a specific diet like carb cycling or keto, or just a low carb diet in general, then you don't need to do cardio. But if you find a plateau, then you can implement cardio to actually help you get to that deficit to get those pounds. You never want to just start doing cardio from the get-go. So all of my beginners that are just starting to like get in the gym, don't jump into cardio right away. Give it time. Just start with the weights. Maybe implement cardio maybe once a week, but don't do it every day, because then your body's going to get used to that cardio, and then it's not going to be as effective if and when you need to use it. So stay away from cardio, focus on weight training, right? So here's the perfect analogy. Let's say John just started working out, and John is about, let's say, 20 pounds overweight. He's about 5'8", 210 pounds, right? Let's say we put John at about 2,600 calories, right? 2,600 calories, in my opinion, is not high. Even 3,000 for some people is not that high. So when you put someone at, let's say 2,500 calories. At 2,500 calories, someone who's never worked out before can actually build muscle with that calorie intake. Even though it's not like a bulk, you still can build muscle, especially newbies. Newbies, I envy every person that is just in the gym for the first time, because your central nervous system is not used to the stress that the gym provides on it and the overload that the weights do to you guys. As you have more and more time in the gym, you got to find different ways to stimulate your body in order to make more and more progress as you go. So it just gets tougher as you keep going. And I think that's the main reason why a lot of people quit in the gym, because they see their body not changing, so they're like, what's the point of putting all this time? But it's all about finding effective ways to continue to train. But not to get sidetracked, but you're at 2,500 calories, right? And you have let's say very little to no muscle mass, but a lot of body fat. Now, as at 2,500 calories, you're building, you keep working out, stay consistent. The calorie intake is not changing, but your muscle mass is slowly increasing. Now, once you get to 2,500 calories, let's say you don't even change your diet, right? And you keep going up. Now your muscle mass is still growing and growing and growing. And now, once you cap the amount of muscle that you can build with that 2,500 calories, now you're at a deficit. And now that's when the weight loss starts happening. Now I'm gonna act like this is your calorie intake, and now your weight is going down as your muscle mass just grew. So that's pretty much what happened to me. When I first started training, that's what I did. I stuck to like, I think I stuck to about 26 or 2,700 calories, and I started seeing muscles like growing, because obviously I kept account of my protein, I kept account of my carbs, I kept account of my fats to make sure that I didn't go over too much fat. But that is the basic science, my analogy on how beginners should approach their first time in the gym. Don't just try to go, because honestly you could do everything at the same time. There's no need to break it down one at a time, like cardio first and then, a couple months later, let's start training because you want to get rid of the body fat. Like, in my opinion, doing just cardio on its own to lose weight is the worst thing you can do, because it's just for that day. Cardio does not burn calories multiple days, like days after and after. Weightlifting and building muscle does. So if you build muscle, obviously, again, that's going to boost up the metabolism, like I said earlier, and that's what's going to help you be able to eat more calories. Because let's be honest, food is amazing. Like, yesterday I literally ate, what's the serving size of freaking almonds? 28 grams or something like that. I ate 4 servings of almonds. That's like about, what? Like 60 grams of fat, because I like almonds and I binged a little bit. I'm fine, I can admit that I binge here and there, so the fact that I went over my almonds, like I just cut another meal that was about 400 calories, because the 4 servings of almonds came up to like 350, but whatever, it happens. But at the end of the day, you want to be able to boost your metabolism so that you can enjoy food, right, and not be in a caloric deficit for the rest of your life. And that's what's going to help you, the training that way, where you can, you have a good amount of calories, so you can still enjoy food, and then you can actually weight train, and the food is pretty much going to go to your muscles. And as soon as you build that amount of muscle that you want, and then it turns into a deficit, that's when the weight loss starts happening. So it's a slow progress. For someone who has been in the gym for a while, like my veterans, if you guys have any questions regarding what you guys should do at this point, if you do have some type of muscle mass, I would suggest definitely, it's either you pick and choose. If you're lean as fuck, if you want more size, go for a bulk. If you're kind of like fat swole, how I was back in the day, I actually put a picture right here of my fat swole days, like a couple of months ago before I started cutting, 9 weeks ago. And then at that point, you want to actually try to cut down. So you want to be in a deficit. Remember, just keep that protein high, because obviously that's going to help you maintain that muscle mass, because you don't want to lose your hard-earned gains. But I hope that answers that question to everyone, including my frat brother Norm. Again, I apologize for not being able to call you as quickly as I could, but I'm a busy-ass guy. Sometimes my clients take over, and sometimes YouTube as well. I got other priorities I have to take care of, but I knew I was going to get this video to you eventually. So better late than never, right, Norm? Alright guys, so if you like this type of video, you find it was real helpful, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you do have any type of experiences as far as your weight loss journey, as far as what you did, maybe you did do the cardio and then you did the weight training afterwards, drop the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have done in your journeys. Just trying to share my experiences and what has worked for me, and what possibly will help for someone else who's watching my videos. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video, and you guys take care.